Welcome back, True Seeker. January 2nd, 2019. An emerging headline is the death of co-president Blake Nordstrom, president of the retail giant Nordstrom's, known for clothing, based out of the Pacific Northwest in the city Seattle, Washington. I want to show you what's interesting about his death, January 2nd, 2019, in light of Nordstrom's being headquartered in the 42nd state, Washington state, and specifically Seattle, and how today's death lines up with his announcement of battling lymphoma, which was last month, December 10th, 2017. When he made that announcement, he was very optimistic. He said his outlook was positive, he would continue to work, and he'd be undergoing treatment for a few months, but he should be okay. Not many days later, he's dead. So before we get into this, just in case you're new here, every time I make a video, even though I've been doing this for 5 years straight, people ask questions. We're going to talk about Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. There's a song out there called Gematria, the Killing Name. There's also another song out there called Murder by Numbers, where killing people is as simple as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. And Seattle, where Nordstrom's is headquartered, if you just take the alphabetic order, Seattle sums to 82. I have a Patreon page. People pay for exclusive content. A lot of the people who pay for sports picks because I nail almost every single football game every weekend. The weekend where Pete Carroll got his 82nd win in the regular season as a head coach of Seattle, it was the day after that Paul Allen, the owner of the team, was pronounced dead from cancer. And that was not a coincidence. There's a whole lot more to the story. You can go back and see my work on the death of Paul Allen. But Seattle sums to 82 using the alphabetic order. That's where A's 1, B's 2, C's 3, up to Z is 26. Notice S is the 19th letter, the first letter in Seattle. E's the 5th, A's the 1st, T's the 20th, so on. You just add up the letters as numbers. The next cipher where Seattle sums to 19, and like how we're at the beginning of what year? 2019. Seattle sums to 19 in this cipher. What you do here is you just take the numerology of each letter using the alphabetic order. So S is the 19th letter. The numerology of 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So S becomes 1. E is the 5th letter, so E is 5. A is 1. T, the 20th letter, you take the numerology of T. Let me zoom this in just in case it's small on your screen. T is the 20th letter. The numerology of 20 is 2 plus 0 is 2. So T is worth 2. L is the 12th letter. 12 is 1 plus 2 is 3. So L is 3. E is 5. You just add up that way. Seattle, 19. These two numbers will always break down to the same number in numerology. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. The next two ciphers are just flipping the alphabetic order around, making Z1, counting back to A is 26. And then the last cipher is the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Notice how Nordstrom is 107, like Seattle chain. And with regards to Seattle being 44, it's a fateful number. Cancer equals 44, so does chemo, so does kill. Earlier today, the actor Bob Einstein, he's dead from cancer, and he's dead on his 44th day of his age. Covered that earlier today. No one from Curb Your Enthusiasm. The other thing about 107 is it's another number that shows up around suspicious deaths. Ritual Sacrifice has this gematria of 107, and you can be the judge. Let's just read the article from December 10th. This was a Monday. This was the day he came out with the news about having cancer. Blake Nordstrom, co-president of the Seattle-based retailer that bears his family name, disclosed Monday he has been diagnosed with lymphoma. Nordstrom, who leads the company with brothers Pete and Eric Nordstrom, told the company's employees, customers, and shareholders that his cancer is treatable and that he and his doctors are optimistic and encouraged by his prognosis. In a note filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, Blake, 57, so he was 57 apparently in December. I can't find his birthday, but it says he was born 1961. So he must have had a birthday in December. After this, Blake, 57, said he expected to reduce his scheduled travel during the next few months as he begins treatment, but otherwise plans to continue working during the process. Blake, the great-grandson of company founder John W. Nordstrom, is the company's principal executive officer and a member of its board of directors. He has worked in the family business for more than 40 years. Interesting that the Seattle Times mentions the 40 years at the end, because this announcement came December 10th, 18, a date with 40 numerology, a Monday, and lymphoma equals 40. So fitting day for the announcement. Let's go through this and just look at everything that stands out here. His name, Blake Nordstrom, with the reverse alphabetic order, has a gematria value of 85, the reflection of 58. He's dead at 58 reportedly. Notice that Blake Nordstrom sums to 59 and 85 in the reduction-based ciphers. Freemasonry sums to 58 and 59. Freemasonry sums to 59 in Hebrew and in English. And these numbers are very important to Freemasonry and their rituals. In Freemasonry, it controls media. It controls government. It controls a lot of major corporations. I don't know that the Nordstrom brothers were Freemasons, but it wouldn't surprise. I'm going to have to talk to my own brother-in-law because he actually was in the same fraternity with this man at the University of Washington. Maybe he knows something. Anyhow, as for dying in Washington, Washington has the Gematria 58, again, Seattle-based, or Nordstrom's based in Seattle in Washington State, the 42nd state, which we'll get to. Freemasonry, Rosicrucian Secret Society, they all sum to 58. Modern Freemasonry was born out of the Rosicrucian order. King James, a Freemason and a Rosicrucian, dropped dead at age 58. The words store and shop have Gematria 58 in light of what Nordstrom's is, in light of what this man's known for. Just a note. Today's date, January 2nd, 2019, meant to write 19 here. 1 plus 2 plus 20 plus 19, Gematria 42. Freemason equals 42. He was the chief executive, executive 42. Again, Washington is the 42nd state in order of statehood, named after the Freemason George Washington. Again, this news comes right at the beginning of 2019, and it doesn't seem like this was expected. Again, he was supposed to be undergoing treatment right now. He had a positive outlook. He's from a family that has a lot of money. Most people that have a lot of money, especially in Seattle. Seattle has so many special cancer hospitals. People fly in from all over the country to get cancer treatment in Seattle because it has a lot of the leading research. So anyway, Seattle 19, the beginning of 2019, like we just talked about, Seattle also has the Gematria 44, the big cancer number. Just had the death earlier today of Bob Einstein. Again, I'll just show you this. His birthday is November 20th, dead today, January 2nd, on his 44th day of his age. Again, it happens all the time. People who have these connections to the number 44. The thing about today as well, which I've already talked about, is right now we're in the time of Capricorn, which is ruled by the planet Saturn in astrology. January 2nd can be written 2/1 like 21. Again, 21's the 6th triangular number. Saturn's the 6th planet from the sun. Saturn has gematria of 21 as well as 42. Today's date has 42 numerology, as we just talked about. And again, we're in the astrological time ruled by Saturn. Saturn has to do with death and judgment. Saturn is associated with death. It's why its astrological symbol includes the scythe, like the Grim Reaper carries around. So 3 deaths today, all numerology-based, occult knowledge, just like Saturn being the keeper of time, connected to death and judgment's occult knowledge. The other thing that jumps out is Nordstrom's was founded in 1901, which is 118 years ago. When you flip the alphabetic order around, cancer is 118. And we see this number all the time around death. Once predicted Prince's death because of this number. Vanity died before the 58th Grammys. Showed how it was a connection to Prince and Purple Rain. Purple Rain's 58. Her cause of death was 118. Prince Rogers Nelson equals 118. Prince had the song I Would Die For You, wrote it out with the number 4 and the letter U, used the 21st letter. He died on 4/21. Anyway, talked about this number 1,000 times since then. It's a number that shows up again and again around suspicious deaths. Cancer, 118. Nordstrom's, they begin their 118th year. Death, again, 118. And in light of this coming at the very beginning of the calendar year, don't forget English was standardized as a 26-letter alphabet with the spellings we know as the same time the Gregorian calendar was rolling out. Gregorian's 58, like calendar, like zodiac, like solar cycle. So one more thing here that's worth mentioning. Well, a couple more things, actually. Lymphoma in the base ciphers also has gematria of 103 and 113, like Scottish, as in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, which has branches all over the United States. Its headquarters is in Washington, D.C. Notice Scottish Rite equals 57. For the record, so does the name George. George Washington was inaugurated at age 57, the Scottish Rite Freemason. Anyhow, more Freemasonry numbers, and couldn't help but notice that from the day he came out to the day he died, it was 23 days later, or it was 3 weeks and 2 days. 23, 3-2, 23, 32 reflections of each other. Lymphoma also has the gematria 32, like Scottish. And I see that somebody left a comment here. I'm going to check it just in case they found his birthday. Let me see this real quick. Oh, somebody pointed out that the Seahawks have a number 42 injured. Yeah, and there were these other deaths today. By the way, for all you big football fans out there, remember how many points the Seahawks won their only Super Bowl with? 43? This is the most pure cipher right here. Remember that was Super Bowl 48? You flip the alphabetic order around, Seahawks 48. Tom Brady became 4-2 in Super Bowls against the team from the 42nd state in the game that ended with the big 21 ritual. If you write out 21, it equals 42. Go back and look at that game where they didn't run the ball in the end zone, the Seahawks against the Patriots at the goal line with the most powerful running back in the NFL history. The down was 2nd and 1. The date was February 1st. Number 21 got the interception on Russell Wilson's 21st pass. You write out 21-42, like how the Patriots became 4-2 against the team from the 42nd state. So from sports to news, it's all scripted this way. And I know Nordstrom's had a tough period for a while back. They had to close a store, not something they're used to doing, just like the other Seattle chain Starbucks. But last time I checked, Nordstrom's was on the rebound. Sometimes people have to make sacrifices in this world to maintain their position. So see what Nordstrom's does in the months ahead with the economy in light of things. We'll leave it there for now, True Seeker. If you want to learn more about this, check out the book, Long History of People Being Murdered by the Numbers. Was Blake Nordstrom one of them? You can be the judge of that. But the 118 years of Nordstrom's and cancer, that's a hard one to ignore, especially this coming at the beginning of 2019. Till next time.